Her eyes filled with tears that came far too late. Brian lunged for me. But I was faster. I stepped aside and let him crash into the table, the impact sending a crack through the wood and through the illusion of their power. I walked toward the door. Mom grabbed my wrist. "Please, don't do this." I turned slowly, meeting her eyes. "You already did." I left her there, clutching a future slipping through her fingers. 3 months later, Brian was sentenced. Mom avoided prison but not consequences. The house was gone. The car repossessed. Her expensive lifestyle evaporated like it never existed. She sent message after message. "Julia, please. I'm sorry. I need you." I deleted each one. Because love shouldn't be begged from the person who buried you first. The final twist? That secret account, the trust my father left. It was huge. Enough to finish school. Enough to build a new life. Enough to breathe again. But I didn't take it all. I transferred a small portion to my mother. Not enough for comfort. Just enough for survival. Because revenge wasn't about leaving her with nothing. It was about leaving her with exactly what she gave me. Almost enough love to live on. Almost. I stood by Dad's grave one more time, snow crunching under my boots. "I'm okay now," I whispered. And for the first time in my life, I meant it. They tried to erase me. But I became permanent. And they became the lesson. I stood there at his grave until the wind chilled my bones and the candle at my feet flickered its final breath. The world around me was quiet, too quiet, like even the universe was holding its breath for what came next. I looked up at the sky, at the stars I used to count with my father's voice guiding me, and I whispered. "This is the part where I finally get to live." I didn't walk away as the broken girl they tried to bury. I walked away as the woman who survived them. Because in the end, they taught me how to fight. They taught me how to be ruthless. They taught me how to win. And now? They can watch me rise. If you were in my place, would you have done the same? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Was the revenge enough, or did Julia go too far? And if you want more shocking true stories like this one, white heavy checkmark, hit like. White heavy checkmark, smash that subscribe button. White heavy checkmark and turn on notifications so you never miss a twist ***. Because trust me, the next story? It's even darker. Skullfire. I didn't cry. I memorized the license plate. I memorized everything. I created a new contact in my phone, Dad. Not because I believed in ghosts, but because I wanted to remember who I was doing this for. I dug up every document I had about Dad's insurance. Every password hint I remembered him teaching Mom. Every old notebook stored in dusty boxes. It was like following a trail he left behind for me, a trail that led to truth. I uncovered a secret account, one that Brian didn't know I knew existed. A trust. Money untouched. Until now. Mom was listed as primary trustee. But Dad had written a contingency. If the trustee engages in fraud or criminal activity, the beneficiary may take legal control. All I needed was proof. Solid. Unquestionable. Devastating. So I got it. I recorded Brian bragging to his poker buddies about bleeding the dumb insurance dry. I screen captured messages between him and Mom discussing how to claim I was unstable. I even found a forged signature, a bad one. Evidence was power. Power was survival. And survival was revenge. But I wasn't ready to pull the trigger. Not yet. Revenge isn't just about destroying someone. It's about making them realize what they destroyed first. I waited. Patient. Quiet. Like a storm on the horizon. Christmas Eve. Snow fell like feathers outside the window of my apartment. I lit a single candle by Dad's picture. For the first time in years, the house felt warm. Then my phone beeped. Danny, they're at your dad's grave. Laughing. Saying this year is finally peaceful without you. Something inside me erupted, something volcanic and ancient. They took my father's grave and turned it into a celebration of my absence. That was their fatal mistake. The next day, I knocked on their door. Mom opened it, wrapped in a silk robe, face smoothed by money and guiltless decisions. What are you doing here? You're violating the order. I'm not here for you, I said calmly. I stepped inside without asking. She stumbled backward. Brian appeared at the stairs, smug grin plastered on his face. Look who crawled back. I looked at him like he was already a corpse. I wanted to say thank you, I said. For making things so clear. Mom scoffed. We owe you nothing. No, I agreed. But you're about to owe a lot to the state. I dropped a stack of papers onto the kitchen island, emails, recordings, account statements. Every sin laid bare. Brian's face paled. Mom's lips trembled. You don't know what you're doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I hit play on a recording. Brian's voice filled the room. We get rid of the girl and the money's ours. Silence. Then panic. Mom reached for the papers, instinctive and desperate, but I pulled them away. These have already been filed, I told her. Police, insurance agency, your bank, Dad's lawyer. Mom looked ready to collapse. Julia, wait. No, my voice was ice. You ended this. Remember? As if summoned by the universe's cruelty, my phone buzzed again, this time from a friend who still lived near my old neighborhood. Danny, saw your mom and Brian at DeLuca's. They looked weird. Weird? I called her. What do you mean weird? Like, romantic, she said hesitantly. My stomach soured. Romantic was normal for a married couple. But the way she said it. What else? I pushed. You're not gonna like this, Julia. I didn't breathe. They were celebrating. Talking about how now they can focus on their family without any more interruptions. And something about getting what they want from the insurance. A cold, metallic taste filled my mouth. Insurance. Dad's insurance. Insurance that had been saving for me. My education. My future. That night, dots connected that I never wanted to see. Every unexplained bill that Mom swore we couldn't afford. Every time Brian suggested cutting Julia loose. Every time Mom repeated, I wish I had never had you. I lay awake for hours, staring at the cracks in the ceiling like they were a map leading me to the truth. They had been waiting for a reason to erase me. And I had just given them one. A week passed. No calls. No apologies. I threw myself into work, gripping every second like a lifeline. Then, Thursday night, someone knocked at my apartment door. 2 officers stood there. I swear my heart stopped dead. Are you Julia Rains? The taller one asked. Yes. There's been a report filed against you. Harassment claims made by your mother and stepfather. They're requesting a restraining order. Something inside me split clean in half. They what? I haven't contacted them. The officer nodded sympathetically. They say they feel threatened. They're asking the court to cut off your access to their home and finances permanently. Finances. Insurance. It was official. I was being erased. When the door shut behind them, I collapsed to the ground. That was the last moment I allowed myself to be weak. Because weakness was what they wanted. They wanted me gone, silent, forgotten. No. Not yet. I stopped waiting for my mother to save me. I started saving myself. and then I started planning. I took a night shift cleaning offices downtown, less pay, but more privacy for what I needed to do next. I became a ghost. Every free second was spent learning, investigating, following digital breadcrumbs. Brian wasn't just stealing from the insurance money. He was laundering it, gambling it, using my father's legacy as fuel for his own greed. And Mom, she wasn't blind. She was helping him. Deleting emails linked to accounts. Signing documents. Smiling while she fed him everything that once belonged to me. One night, I watched them from my car as they exited a fancy restaurant, the kind we used to only dream about. He had a hand low on her back. She was giggling like a teenager. Brian opened the door of their new luxury SUV. Paid for with my future. I remember the exact moment my phone buzzed. It was 7:14 p.m., and the sun was melting into that orange bruised sky that always looked like the world was on fire. I was walking out of my night class, the October air crisp enough to raise goosebumps across my skin. My backpack felt heavy, like it was filled with bricks instead of textbooks, but nothing weighed more than the life I was dragging behind me: student loans, working 2 jobs, and a mother who reminded me every day that I was a disappointment. The screen lit up. Mom, don't call or come over. We're done. For a long moment, I just stared. My heart didn't break, it froze. Because deep down, I'd been expecting something like this. The chill settled in my bones like winter had moved inside me. I typed back 2 words. Me, got it. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't run after her like the good daughter she always expected me to be. I just slipped my phone back into my pocket and walked to the bus stop like I had just received a reminder about a dentist appointment. People always assume the worst pain comes with noise, shouting, slamming doors, ugly tears. But sometimes the worst pain is quiet. It sits with you, smiles with you, watches you breathe. And I knew this wasn't the end. It was the ignition. My mother hadn't always hated me. As a kid, she was my world. But when Dad died, everything twisted. She changed. The house changed. The air changed. Suddenly, every mistake I made was a reflection of how I had ruined her life. I grew up thinking love was a condition. And the biggest condition of all was Brian. Her new husband. I had been the first to meet him. He was charming, and he had that salesman smile that made everyone feel special. Everyone except me. When Mom wasn't looking, his eyes lingered too long. His comments dipped just below the line of decency. Loosen up. You'll grow into your looks, he once whispered, trailing his fingers along my spine as I washed dishes. My voice disappeared around him. And when I finally told Mom, she laughed. Actually laughed. Don't be dramatic, Julia. He's trying to bond with you. You push everyone away. That was the night something in me cracked. Fast forward 2 years, she married him. And then she started pushing me away, not physically, but with guilt and gaslighting and choosing him over me until I wasn't her daughter anymore. I was a stranger who ate her food and took up space. When Mom demanded I start paying rent for my own bedroom, I moved out. She told me I abandoned her. That I was selfish. That everything bad in her life was my fault. So I left. I built a life from scraps. And still, I wanted her love. Even when she didn't want me. Especially when she didn't want me. The night of the text, I went home to my tiny apartment where the radiator clanged like it was coughing up ghosts. I sat in silence, replaying the message over and over. We're done. What had I even done?